It's a little dark in here, probably because there's no BG for this. It's as eerily quiet as the rest of the school. All the chairs are stacked up against the wall. The only other furniture is the teacher's desk and a piano in the corner. Monika gestures for me to take a seat at the desk, and she pulls up a chair on the other side.
Well, now, I had been hoping to play a song for you on the piano, but now that we seem to be pressed for time, I suppose we should just skip that.
Monika sets the stack of pamphlets on the side of the desk.
Don't worry about the pamphlets for now. We have some things to talk about.
Didn't you say you had something to show me?
I'm getting to that. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry for being a little irritable. This afternoon hasn't gone exactly as I'd hoped it would. It's my fault, really. I can't blame you. I should have set more reasonable expectations. And I guess I can't blame you for wanting to follow the rules either. I mean, you're kind of a stickler and a total lame-o for it, but I just wanted us to have some time alone to talk. But it shouldn't have been at the expense of your comfort. So for that, I'm sorry.
Yes, well, I stammer awkwardly. It would have been nice if you had at least let me know what was going on. My whole time here has been really weird and uncomfortable.
I'm super sorry. I'll make it up to you, okay? This is all a reminder that I'm not that great of a people person. Organizing events and committees is one thing, but dealing with people is not one of my strengths. It does seem to be yours, though.
Me? I can hardly believe she's saying this. I've spent years keeping to myself. How can she think I'm good with people?
You didn't see what the club was like before you joined. Yuri and Natsuki would fight all the time. Actually, there's a line in Act 1 where Sayori said that's the first time they fought, so this is completely false. And Sayori was always so gloomy.
Sayori? Gloomy? You're kidding, right? She's like the happiest person I know.
Well, like I said the other day, that only seems to be when you're around. You really don't see it, do you? The positive effect you have on people? Well, I suppose in Sayori's case it makes sense, since you've known each other for a long time. But you also have to look at Yuri and Natsuki. They're like oil and water. Their personalities are like polar opposites of each other. I wouldn't have imagined them ever getting along, but somehow, within a few days of you joining the club, there they are, talking amiably.
Amiably? Amicably? I guess those words are pretty similar.
Well, when they're not fighting over you anyway. I've seen how you interact with them. You're very diplomatic. As for me, I love literature. Writing is a beautiful extension of the innermost part of our souls. And I wanted to share that with others. And when I started the club, I thought that would be enough to keep it together. But it's becoming increasingly clear that I just don't have the people skills to lead people properly, rather. And I think you do. Anyone who can make both Yuri and Natsuki smile in the same day is way beyond anything I could hope to accomplish. So with that in mind, I was wondering if you'd be interested in taking on more of a leadership role in the club.
What is Monika asking me?
How would you like to be my new vice president?
Aw, don't take that away from Sayori. What? You can't be serious.
What if I am?
I don't know how many more surprises I can take today. This makes no sense. I've only been in the club for a few days. Still, I find myself imagining what it would be like. Working side by side with Monika every day. My heart leaps a little at the thought. And yet I have a strange feeling of trepidation. Before today, this would have seemed like some distant fantasy. Something wonderful that I could never attain. But now, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I trust Monika anymore. And besides, if I become vice president, then doesn't that mean... What about Sayori? Wouldn't I be pushing her out of her position as vice president?
Yes, that wouldn't be very nice for her, would it? She's been doing a very good job in that role. Don't underestimate her. So it wouldn't be at all fair to kick her out. In fact, I have a better idea. How would you like to be president?
What?
I wish you could see your face right now. I didn't know your eyes could get that wide.
This is ridiculous. I'm not even that into literature. You can't just hand over leadership of the club like that.
You're probably right. It was just an idea. Anyway, it was worth it just to see your reaction. But in all seriousness, I've been giving a lot of thought to stepping down from my role as president. As much as I love the literature club, it's kind of taken on a life of its own lately. I'd still like to be a part of it, but I've come to decide that the future of the club should be left in the hands of its members. It doesn't need me leading it. And if I'm no longer president, it'll give me more time to focus on other things. Or rather, other people. Well, one person in particular.
Is she talking about who I think she's talking about? Could the rumors be true? Are you talking about your boyfriend?
No, I don't have a boyfriend.
Oh, sorry, I mean, Siri seems to think you have a boyfriend.
Well, I'll have to have a word with Sari about spreading rumors. The truth is, I have a girlfriend.
I think I've just become numb from surprise at this point.
You're funny. I'm enjoying watching your reactions. Sorry, I don't mean any disrespect, but your experience is so limited that it's surprisingly easy to blow your mind. I haven't even gotten to the good part yet.
Sorry, I'm just surprised. I mean,
You just never considered it before, right?
I guess not.
Well, that's to be expected, I suppose. Our society tends to assume that everyone is heterosexual until proven otherwise.
You mean straight?
Well, yes. I've always hated that word, though. I mean, if other people are straight, does that mean I'm crooked? It sounds vaguely insulting.
Sorry, I guess I never thought of it that way.
Again, it's not your fault. It's just a product of the society we all grew up in. Everyone is obsessed with the idea of being normal. No one wants to be seen as different or weird. But really, what is normal? We live in such a diverse world with so many different kinds of people who are different in every conceivable way. Different cultures, different careers, different hobbies and interests. Different families and friends who shape our lives. Different sexual orientations. With so many differences, how can we call any one thing normal? And yet you see this obsession with normalcy everywhere. You even see it in our club. Natsuki and Yuri are both terribly insecure about their own unusual interests. And that insecurity comes from a lifetime of being treated badly by people who didn't think they were normal enough. And that's pretty sad. Everyone should be free to be able to just enjoy whatever they enjoy. But that obsession with normalcy gets taken to a whole other level when it comes to sexual orientation. People act like being heterosexual is the default, like anything else is different or strange. But that's nonsense. Everyone should be free to love whoever they want. It doesn't hurt anyone, and they shouldn't be made to feel bad about it. I love my girlfriend dearly and passionately, and there's nothing wrong with that. Well, listen to me rambling on here. Sorry, I just have strong feelings about this subject.
That's okay. Sorry if I'm too, bewildered to speak. I'm just learning a lot more about you than I expected today. It's a lot to take in. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Like that stuff about being afraid to look weird. Well, I watch a lot of anime, and, I also read a fair bit of manga. And it can be hard to find people who don't make fun of me for it. And I can imagine that it would be really nice to be able to just enjoy it freely, without worrying about what other people will think. Are you really comparing your unpopular hobbies to Monika being a lesbian?
Well, if you enjoy it, there must be a reason for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do people ever, try to make you feel bad about being a lesbian?
Oh, I'm not a lesbian.
But you said,
I'm bisexual.
oh, what does this mean? You've got to be kidding me. How do you not know what bisexuality is? Is this some kind of weird come on? My mind fills with possibilities that start my head pounding. So, like, both at the same time?
No. Geez, what kind of manga have you been reading? No, I just happen to be attracted to both boys and girls. I've had relationships with boys in the past, and now I happen to be in a relationship with a girl. That's all. I can go either way. It doesn't make any less devout to my girlfriend or mean that I'm thinking of pursuing anyone else, or inviting anyone else into the relationship. But to answer your earlier question, yes, some people react badly, but that's to be expected. I try not to let it get me down. Others just need to be educated. Like you. No offense. Bisexuality is another thing that a lot of society just doesn't seem to get. Like the idea that it's possible to be attracted to more than one gender just blows some people's minds. And others treat it like it's some kind of fetish. Do you have any idea how many times I've had guys asking me if I want to do a threesome? Honestly, I got fed up with hearing that question a long time ago. I think that's the biggest reason I don't usually talk about being bisexual in the first place.
I quickly decided not to tell Monika that was the first thing that came into my mind. Huh. Well, I guess I can be thankful that you trust me enough to share. Even if I need to be educated. Sorry about that.
Aw, it's no problem. You're not even close to the worst reaction I've received. This has just been Monica's educational moment of the day. Thanks for listening.
So I'm wondering, your girlfriend, is she somebody I know?
You'll see her at the festival tomorrow.
That didn't really answer my question, but I let it pass. Man, to think, at the start of this day, things were already feeling surreal. My time with Monika today has been nothing I could possibly ever have anticipated. How did we even get on this topic again? Oh yeah, but getting back to what we were talking about before, I don't think you need to give up your presidency just to spend time with your girlfriend. And anyway, that's really the kind of thing we should discuss with the whole group. Not in a secret meeting in an abandoned classroom.
Ordinarily, yes, you would be right. And that brings me to what I really wanted to show you today. I see that we're well past the 5 minutes you promised me, so I'm going to assume that I've piqued your interest.
Sigh. Well, at this point, I'd like to be able to say that nothing will surprise me. But somehow, I have a feeling that this is going to top all your other surprises today.
Oh, this is going to be good. I want to savor this moment. I've been looking forward to this. It's really quite exciting for me. I've wanted to tell you ever since you joined the literature club, but I wanted to wait until the right moment. And I've thought of 100 ways to tell you. You see, remember when I told you the other day that I had an epiphany? Well, it would have been more accurate to say that I've had 2 epiphanies. The second one happened just 2 days ago, on Friday. But the first one came quite some time ago. And that's the one I want to talk about first. Remember our conversation earlier about breaking the 4th wall? Well, consider this my 4th wall breaking moment. You're in a work of fiction, Hallie. Your life, your classmates, this school, this world, it's all fake.
Okay, you're speaking metaphorically, right? Or something like that? I'm hoping that this is some kind of weird literature-based game of hers. But something tells me that she's serious.
Not at all. I mean it quite literally. And yes, I'm serious.
You're telling me nothing is real.
That's right. At least nothing you've ever known in your life is real, anyway.
That's it. This has gone way beyond ridiculous. All the other stuff, while unusual, I could accept. But now it's pretty clear that Monika is out of her mind.
I assure you that I'm quite sane. But it's nice of you to accept the other stuff.
Wait, I didn't say that out loud. Did she just reply to what I was thinking?
I'm not reading your mind exactly. More like I'm reading your internal monologue.
My what?
I know this all sounds hard to believe. I had trouble accepting it myself. But try to relax and I'll explain everything. In fact, you know what? Here. This always helps me relax. Keep your eyes on the windows behind me. And sorry if this startles you.
The school grounds outside the window suddenly vanished to be replaced by an expanse of starry blackness. What just happened?
Isn't that pretty? I just love gazing out into the seemingly endless skies sometimes. There's something calming about it. Even if I know it's all simulated.
How can she be so calm in the middle of all this craziness? What's going on? I can't... What? What did you do? How did you do that? What are you?
What am I? That's actually a really good question. Am I just a program that became self-aware? Am I a real person who somehow got trapped within this story? Or perhaps my personality got copied here from somewhere else. Even I don't have all the answers. But I just have to make do with what I've got.
What do you mean, program?
This world we're in is a video game. A visual novel called Doki Doki Literature Club. Very cutesy name. I guess someone thought it would help it sell. Though I see from the download page that it's free, so I don't see why that would be an issue.
I'm still struggling to grasp all of this. A video game. We're inside a video game.
That's right. I know this for a fact, because I can see into the game's code. It looks like it's been modified from its original version. Someone must have used some kind of downloadable content on it. DLC. Isn't that what you call it? You're into video games, right? You should know better than I do. Or do you call it a mod, as in short for modification?
This is really friggin' bizarre. I feel like I just want to run away from this and forget that any of it happened.
I wouldn't advise that. In fact...
Oh no, the music door is locked.
There, that should stop you from doing anything foolish. Sorry, this is a bit awkward. I didn't mean to hold you here against your will. But if you open that door, you're going to find yourself blown out into space. And I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
You're telling me that we're in outer space right now.
For the moment. Don't worry, I'll bring us back when we're done here. And then we can go to the festival and show off these lovely pamphlets we printed. Speaking of which, I lied when I said they wouldn't fold themselves.
I gawk at the stack of pamphlets. I didn't even see them move, but I see that they're suddenly all neatly folded. This is messing with my head. This must be what it's like to be on drugs.
You've never done any? You really are a goody two-shoes, aren't you? Not that I'm endorsing drugs. I wouldn't want you to do anything unsafe.
What? You said you weren't reading my mind.
I told you I'm reading your internal monologue. This is a visual novel we're in. It's nothing but still images. So any actions we take have to be described to the player. Somewhere out in the real world, someone is reading everything we say and do as words on screen. Maybe they're even reading out loud, in which case I hope they got my voice right.
Well, I can't exactly do a perfect imitation of your voice, so I'm sorry.
Anyway, sometimes it describes what you're thinking, too.
Wait, does this mean she knew I was imagining threesomes earlier?
Threesomes? Oh my. I didn't, but now I know. Well, I suppose it's good to have a healthy imagination. Just remember to treat the people you're thinking about with respect.
I start thinking about random things so she doesn't learn anything else embarrassing about me. La la la, nothing to see in here. Purple monkey dishwasher.
Oh jeez, is it really that bad? I'm not trying to embarrass you. Here, I'll do you a favor. Let me test that to make sure I did it right. It worked! It didn't describe what I was doing. Oh wow, I should have done this ages ago.
You know, you're suddenly very talented at this whole scripting thing.
I was getting sick of having that thing describe every little thing I did and every little thought that entered your head. This is actually pretty funny. Since this game only shows a still image of me, the player doesn't have any way of knowing what I'm doing. I could be doing jumping jacks right now, for all I know. I could even do this.
Whoa, Monika!
You're so cute when you're embarrassed. But I suppose that's not very nice. I promise I won't do that again.
That's okay.
Gosh, you really need to learn how to relax. You've been anxious since this day began, and it's only gotten worse. Loosen up.
You were right when you said you need to work on your people skills.
Alas, it's my biggest failing. Sorry, but I just can't help myself. I'm so excited. You have to understand, when I first discovered the nature of this world we're in, I kind of sank into despair. I found it really hard to find meaning in my life, in my existence. Knowing that it was all artificial and that everyone here was pre-programmed. I mean, sure, I can make changes to the code here and there, but without anyone real to share it with, what's the point? I came very close to just ending myself. It would have been easy too. Forgot a comma there. Just delete a few lines of code and poof, I'd be gone. I started a literature club to help keep me sane. And for a time, it helped. Writing helped me keep my thoughts away from my mind-numbing existential crisis I was experiencing. But then you came along. A protagonist. A connection to real people in the real world. A tantalizing glimpse into a world I could never truly know, but that I desperately wanted to get closer to. And I knew, in that moment, that I had to find some way to draw the player's attention to me.